Water, H2O, sky juice. Call it what you will, 96% of all the water on the planet are in the oceans. That means only 4% is fresh water, and less than half of that is drinkable. So, water everywhere and not a drop to drink is fast becoming a very urgent reality. Water. 71% of the planet is covered with it. There's a lot of it, so it's often taken for granted. But just imagine this. Every time we turn on the tap or leave the shower running for a little too long, we're not just using water, we're wasting it, pouring the very thing that sustains life down the drain. A quick Google search will tell you that agriculture is the industry that consumes the most water. So when it comes to water waste, there's a widespread belief that farming, crop, and animal rearing stands as the primary culprit. But is this really the case? We spoke to those who will be most affected by a much drier future. Who do you think is most to blame?
There is evidence that agriculture and crop farming use large amounts to grow the plants, and certain crops are grown purely in water rather than in the ground or in soil. However, you could also argue that a lot of water is displaced from its natural place of origin to care for animals in animal farms. But I think overall, like vegetables would use more water since they're being consumed by both meat eaters and vegetarians.
Eating meat accounts for a lot more water usage due to the fact that growing cattle and like anything that needs to be slaughtered is going to take, I'm guessing, around like 6 times more water than it would for something that is more plant-based per gram, and that is why.
According to the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization, agriculture accounts for approximately 70% of global freshwater withdrawals and usage, and around a third of the water in agriculture is linked to meat and dairy production. Now, on the surface, that may seem like a lot, but there is more to it than meets the eye. Let's take a deeper look into the intricate relationship between farms and water consumption and break down this misconception.
Ada 3 jenis air dekat farm ni kita operate. First, we have our boring water. Normally boring ni kita gunakan air dia adalah untuk pembersihan saja, untuk cleaning purposes. Untuk mandi dia, we use it air daripada boring. So to save cost, and on top of that, kita boleh guna dia dengan banyak lah. So tak payah nak fikir pasal saving and so on. That will be a boring. The second air we using is shabas. Air selangor. So air selangor normally for their drinking lah, minum dia. Third one, we have rainwater. So contoh, hari yang biasa dia akan consume 30 liter a day, but dia bergantung pada body score juga Tapi bila katalah climate change, bila musim panas dan sebagainya, so at least lembu tu akan minum, dia require more water lah.
Alongside the animal farm, we also explored the issue from a plant farmer's perspective.
Actually, mostly rainwater. Yeah. For our water consumption, usually for water we have a lot of irrigation process, and for some of the bigger trees we use sprinkler system. Yeah. So actually, all of our water is coming from our ponds. We have water, not exactly water catchment ponds, but it's ponds that actually catches rainwater. Yeah. We have about 1,000 trees, so we use roughly about 2,000 liter per day. And then for the rest of our tree, for our medium and larger trees, I think we use roughly about 10 liters per tree per day. So we need to use about 3,000 liters for our other trees. So in total we use about 5,000 liters per day in our farm.
The truth is, farmers everywhere are rewriting the narrative, embracing innovative practices like rainwater harvesting. Through ponds, reservoirs, and intricate drip irrigation systems, they collect water and transform it into the food that ends up on our plates. Many farms no longer rely solely on freshwater resources. Instead, to nourish their crops and livestock, they've turned to rain or green water and ground or blue water. Another thing to consider is that behind every meal lies a story of water. Water nourishes the fields, quenches the thirst of farm animals, all of which sustains life all across the globe. According to a 2018 study published by the National Library of Medicine in the United States, worldwide food production exceeded 2,750 kilocalories per person per day. So in a way, 70% of global freshwater reserves go towards feeding our world population of 8.1 billion. Could you really call that a waste of water? This just goes to show how the problem of water wastage in agriculture cannot be seen in isolation, but has to be tackled alongside food production. And both systems need to be made more sustainable to cope, especially now in what many are calling a climate emergency. But what does that have to do with climate change? The water we use for agriculture, industry, and daily activities affects the environment and contributes to climate change. Treating and pumping water uses a lot of energy, often from fossil fuels, which increase greenhouse gas emissions, causing global temperatures to rise, with more carbon in the atmosphere. This rise in temperature has changed rainfall activity, causing droughts in some areas and floods in others, all of which makes drinkable water a dwindling commodity. Water scarcity is worsened by water wastage. Saving water isn't just about being efficient, it's also a big part of fighting climate change and making sure we have enough water for everyone in the future. So, in essence, water is life. It's vital for everything we do, from growing food to staying healthy. As we confront challenges like climate change and water scarcity, understanding the importance of water becomes a priority. So by protecting and conserving water, we're not just ensuring our own well-being, but we're securing a better and brighter future for everyone on our planet. So the next time you sit at a table for a meal, look at what's in front of you. Think about how your food and drink ended up on your table. How much water was used to produce your meal? And it all starts with you and me. Don't leave the water running. Have shorter showers. Don't run a bath. Get water-efficient washing machines and do your laundry only when it's absolutely necessary. Every little thing we do helps. 'Cause remember, water is our lifeline.